We're commandeering the Adams College radio station in the name of nerd freedom.
There's no greater friend of the nerd than the American DJ.
Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled.
Daria. My first kiss was my cousin.
Oh my God, I came close to doing the biggest spit take of all time.
Mitch. Ted, you can look me in the eyes and tell me you've never kissed one of your cousins.
No!
Ted.
I'm looking you dead in the eyes.
Embarrass myself?
Dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all mankind.
Daria, Mitch, and Ted. The Afternoon Buzz.
On a dark and foggy Friday afternoon. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, love her. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
I haven't heard this voice since 2011.
What do you mean? Jimmy Carter was president in the 70s.
What does that mean?
What?
What? Huh?
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Daria.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
The power to get rid of all crazy voices from you and Ted for a month.
That's mine, too. Hey, guys. Thanks for teaching me about the power of education.
What is happening?
She's being a Fat Albert character.
Oh, okay. Hey, Mambo.
Everybody keeps saying that. I don't hear it. Happy 2012. Rebecca's here from the Oregon Humane Society. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hi, Rebecca.
This is a cutie pie that you brought in today, and he's just a little puppy. He's he's big. He's probably going to get a little bigger. He's 58 pounds. And what the heck kind of dog is this?
Gorgeous.
He is gorgeous.
He's very beautiful, but I've never seen a dog like him.
He's a border collie mix, so he looks mostly border collie, but his ears are much larger than
They're
normal.
a bit out of proportion, and it makes him just adorable.
And they stand up high, and I mean they're
then
like,
just the top, just
flop.
the tips flop over, which is awesome.
he looks almost like a Japanese cartoon dog.
He does, yes.
He's all silky black, except he has that sort of border collie, speckly black and white on his paw and a little on the back of his collar area.
And he's one of those pups you can just look at him and you know how intelligent he is.
He's crazy smart.
Yeah.
He's really, 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 really smart. He unfortunately had to be given to the Humane Society because the family had really small children that weren't very good with him. So he would need to be adopted by a family with either no children or older children who are really savvy about dogs.
Because border collies, Rebecca, what do they want to do most of the time?
He has a very herding instinct, so he'll want to herd your young children.
Which sounds perfect to me. I don't
Doesn't
see.
it? I'm like, that's what my house
Go get 'em.
needs. Yeah, exactly.
Round him up.
Get him into his room. Get him into the living room. And he's just brilliant. Right now he's having a little rest. But I can't say enough about his crazy bat ears.
I've never seen anything like it.
You got ears like a bat, Chance.
Yeah.
He's full on ignoring me.
Yes. He's actually really young, too. He's only 9 months old, but when you want him to be calm, he's great. He's calm. He's laying here. He's being a very good boy. But he's also will need that energy release during the day, each day, either running or you could invest in a chuck it and take him out. He loves to play ball.
And there actually are places here in Oregon you can take these herding breeds and let them herd sheep and goats.
Are you serious?
And yes.
Are you? Is this?
I will believe that for Mitch. It's a dog
I've
thing.
heard that somewhere.
I'm sure it is.
Did you hear it in your own
I
head?
think I just started a business. Copyright 2012. Are there places like that? Yes, there are. I know there are. There
guess
certainly
there
should.
are.
Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about.
No
There
such
should be.
thing.
There are farms where you can take your herding dogs and that you'll herd their sheep. and
Really?
their cows.
Where are such farms?
You know, around out in the wilderness area.
Here's what you do, folks.
Just drive.
until you see some sheep.
Drive east.
Take your dog and say, "Go get them,
Go get them.
Well, maybe look into that.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a place called Rocking Dog Ranch.
I knew it.
And
my
they have
God.
different fields and
Yep.
arenas for herding.
Thank you, Ted.
Oh, he would
Way to go,
love that. So if you want a dog that's very, very clever and has a lot of energy and would like to exercise with you and go to dog parks with you and go for walks and runs, this seems to be like the dog that would like to go jogging with you on the leash. Or
yeah.
even-
Yeah.
Is it safe? This is a question. Hey.
Hey.
We've never asked this before. Hey, Rebecca.
That sounds like something I can't. Hey.
It sounds like a subdued Harry Carey.
Yeah,
Yes,
Harry Carey.
it is.
Hey, Rebecca.
Holy cow.
If you had a dog,
So stupid. I'm sorry.
It's Friday, isn't it?
Is it safe to ride your bike with your dog on a leash?
I'm not. We don't have an official answer according
You don't
to
have
the
a
Oregon
stance
Humane
on it.
Society.
No.
However, I've seen people doing it, and
Yeah,
their
so
dogs
have I.
are trained for it. I think, but it seems more dangerous for the human
I would say so,
almost
yeah.
than for the dog
Yeah.
because the dog makes one wrong move and you're crashed.
How about a car?
Right.
I saw someone on rollerblades. This was back in the rollerblade day. Remember when? You'll remember this, Ted.
Yeah.
Do you remember when 3 out of 4 people at Waterfront Park at any given moment
Yes.
were on rollerblades?
We're dressed in day glow clothing and rollerblades.
And there were like 2 rollerblading stores in that little
Yeah.
stretch of stores out on the waterfront.
this is like mid-90s.
It was amazing,
Yeah.
and you thought this is just how it's going to be
Sure.
forever.
They're just gone,
and then
aren't they? Boom.
it just dried up. But this was just a little past the rollerblade heyday, and I saw a dude on his rollerblades, and he was basically being pulled by a dog, and I don't know what it was, but I immediately looked, and I instantly in my brain was like, fall. And why would I think that?
He's
I'm
kinda cheating
he's
somehow or something. I don't know what it is.
Yes, that was it. I'm like, look, don't act like you're rollerblading.
Or walking your dog. You're doing neither.
You, my friend, are standing, and it's pissing me off. And he didn't fall, and
Darn it.
then I knew my psychic powers were not what they were cracked up to be. What else can you tell us about Chance? Is he going to be...
He's housebroken. I don't know if we mentioned that. That's
Yes.
very, very important.
Yeah. He still has that playful puppiness to him, but the advantage of coming at 9 months is that he knows sit, stay, lay down. He's such a good boy, and he's housebroken, which is all the more pleasant.
He's sleeping right now, or he would be if you hadn't just hit his ears with a leash. He
They're hard to miss.
He just tuckered out. He's lying on his side.
Yeah.
He's got his little eyes closed, and his ears are so big and floppity.
If you'd like to see him today or this weekend, he's at Lexi Dog, just down the street from us here at the radio station on McAdam.
Yep.
Which is a lovely place to go meet your dog. That's where I went and took my family to meet my
Oliver.
new dog, Oliver. And they have a little room available for you to have just a private meeting. It's a large room. And you can take your kids, if you have kids, or just yourself, and have some time, one-on-one time with the dog. Make sure you communicate well.
Lexi Dog is located just down the street from the radio station, if you know where we are. If you don't, it's on McAdam. That's the Johns Landing area. It's sort of in between the Ross Island and Selwood Bridges. And it's right in the little area that has the Starbucks and the Subway.
And there's like a rock climbing gym or
and
something
a rock
in there.
gym.
Yeah.
And then there's Lexi Dog, and it's just like it's a fun place to just go and
Yeah.
you love your dog to play with other dogs.
And a swimming pool in there for dogs.
Also, if you just want like cool stuff to buy for your dog, they have all kinds of neat, crafty stuff.
Yeah,
for dogs.
it's fancy. It's not that cheap, but
but it's good, quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are
and
awesome supporters of the Oregon
We
Humane Society.
love us some Suzanne and Lexi Dog.
They are amazing. No, we adore them. And
Yep.
that you can check out Chance as well as some other beautiful dogs there. And that's Chance, our pet of the week.
105.1 The Buzz. The Afternoon Buzz with Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Justin Timberlake, Sexy Back, 105.1 The Buzz, Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Do you like to shake your booty to this song?
I love anything he does, yes.
Do you do the thing where you just you kind of take one hip and you just shake it down? Of
course I do.
It down. Yeah, you're doing it right. He started doing it as soon as I
And
said
speaking
it.
of booties and Justin Timberlake, his
Yes.
movie, we saw it over the holiday break, about
Friends with Benefits.
Friends with Benefits. There was an Ashton Kutcher movie, the same basis.
No Strings Attached.
Yeah. The Ashton Kutcher was actually better than the Timberlake movie, although he does show his behind, his bare behind, quite a bit. But there's rumors that it may be a bottom double.
A stunt butt?
A stunt butt. Which, why would Justin Timberlake need a stunt butt? He's a young,
I don't know.
healthy man.
You know who would never use a stunt butt? Our friend Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh.
She has a website called Goop.
Yes.
We've discussed it at length.
Yes.
She has some advice as to how to make 2012 a better year for you from her.
Yeah.
105.1 The Buzz. The Afternoon Buzz with Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
is it time for a buzz from Hollywood?
No, I thought we were going to do Gwyneth.
Is in Buzz from Hollywood.
Oh, it's in Buzz from Hollywood. I thought it was a separate thing. Well, let's do Buzz from Hollywood then. Here we go.
105.1 The Buzz. Buzz from Hollywood.
If your New Year's resolution was to cleanse your colon, Gwyneth Paltrow has help for you, and you're back. Maybe you're familiar with Gwyneth's health and lifestyle website. It's goop.com. What is Goop's stand for? You're
What
wondering?
does it stand
It doesn't
for?
really stand for anything. She just kind of made it up using her initials GP. Gwyneth Paltrow. Goop. It's just silly. Gwyneth is peddling something called the Goop Cleanse. It is a diet regimen, and it consists of protein shakes and supplements designed to, quote, give your digestive system a break and also improve your energy levels by cleansing the toxins from your system. It's similar to the many other cleanses that are available on the market. The difference is it's from Gwyneth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more expensive. It's $425. You can buy it from her. She just wants to help you. We don't have a diary from Gwyneth today, but we're gonna Monday! Jeremy Renner should be kicking back and enjoying the success of his movie career, but he can't do that when he's watching friends get stabbed in the neck with an axe. Renner was at a bar in Thailand. It's that city that I can't say out loud because it sounds like, you know the one I mean?
We know the one you mean, yes.
It's P-H-U-K-E-T. Say it to yourself. Early Wednesday morning when a brawl broke out. His group included 40-year-old Varacid Isara, the owner of a luxury hotel. So the details are sketchy, but apparently Isara got into it with staffers at the bar. Suddenly, 6 of them swarmed at Isara. They stabbed him in the stomach with a knife, and then they cut his neck with a handmade axe.
Wow.
Made out of a motorcycle brake rotor. Renner's rep says that he left the bar when the fight broke out and suffered no injuries, which basically means he ran
for it, yeah.
like a coward. No, I would say not coward. When the axes come out, like a genius. So Isara is being treated for a serious stomach wound and partially severed neck tendons.
Oh, gosh.
The 6 assailants were all arrested and charged with attempted murder. So really, it's just that Jeremy Renner was around when something happened and quickly left. Jeremy Renner, if you're not familiar with him, plays William Brandt, the new guy on Tom Cruise's team in Mission Impossible. He's also Hawkeye in the upcoming Avengers movie. He will be in the Bourne Legacy, the first Bourne movie without Matt Damon. And he's been nominated for an Oscar twice for The Town and The Hurt Locker. And if you still cannot picture who he is, just picture Justin Bateman with a thyroid problem.
Oh, gosh.
It sounds mean, but then when you do it, that you're like, oh, yeah, that's him, Jeremy Renner. It's Justin Bateman with the bulgy eyes.
Do you mean Jason Bateman?
Yeah, what did I say?
Justin.
Oh, I was sort of a hybrid between Jason and Justine.
Okay, well, they kind of are, yes.
Makes a big difference. Big difference. Someone broke into Mike Tyson's Las Vegas hotel room over the weekend, but fled when he woke up. They fled? Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Stick around.
Obviously, if you were burglaring Mike Tyson while he slept and he woke up, your natural instinct would be to stand there and let him kill you with his hand. All right, so these are 3 birthdays, and I'm going to just say the birthday and the age and then wait for one of you guys to shout out a phrase or term or anything. Okay. And I feel pretty confident in both of your abilities.
All right.
Rowan Atkinson turns 57.
Bang.
Thank you! This may be a musical one. I'm not saying for sure. It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
But the impetuous is going to be on you.
Oh.
That might have been the wrong word. Shut up.
Jason.
I know language.
She's convalescing. She's on antibiotics. She's heavily...
I wasn't going to say anything, but you pointed it out.
Up.
Kenny Loggins turns 64 tomorrow.
You gotta know when to hold them.
Wrong Kenny.
Oh my God.
What is happening today?
Footloose. Everybody cut Footloose. I heard Kenny and I was so excited. You gotta cut loose.
This one is a little trickier.
Okay. All right.
And I kind of thought you'd play the song.
I can't play a song that quick.
Rather than sing it. Danny Pintaro, the little kid from Who's the Boss, turns 36.
Angela, Mona, Samantha.
But who's Danny Pintaro?
He's
Jonathan.
That's right.
2:45 a.m. Thursday, Orlando, Florida. Police arrested Darth Vader. Or more accurately, this is going to be, I need like a rim shot or a want because it's going to be the worst punchline in history.
Excellent.
So far. Or more accurately, they'd arrested 28-year-old Michael Cole of Orlando. He was stumbling around drunk in a Darth Vader costume. They ended up having to taser him after he attacked a cop. Now he's facing charges for resisting and battery. Senior officers admonished the arresting officer for resorting to the taser so quickly, but eventually wrote it off as a Wookiee mistake.
That's good. I liked it.
Pentagon-supported physicists say they have developed a time cloak. It briefly makes an entire event disappear. So have I. Vicodin. I await my check from the Pentagon. And finally, chick beer, a beer brewed exclusively by women for women, is growing in popularity. It is a bit yeasty. Oh, that's the buzz from Hollywood.
105.1 The Buzz, the afternoon buzz with Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Oftentimes we do a little dance in the studio to songs that are upbeat and lively like that one, except for Ted because he's got no soul. I did a little dance I call the window wash.
It was good. Yes,
yeah.
I see it now.
It's very
yes.
festive. It's
It is.
celebratory.
Sure.
And it's mine.
And
Copyright
at the end of it,
2012.
windows are clean.
Yep.
So
no stains or smears. Speaking of stains and smears.
Yeah.
This is what I'd call, I wouldn't even call it a stupid criminal story, because though this guy is a criminal and was arrested for what will become obvious shortly, I think that this person is just he's a victim of not understanding that he is performing the worst way to pick someone up in history. Music, please, maestro.
All righty.
48-year-old Jeff Watson of Norman, Oklahoma, regularly shopped for himself at a maternity store. What?
Odd.
Why? Well, a clerk at Modern Maternity in a mall in Oklahoma City says she would see Jeff in the store very often. She figured he was buying maternity clothes because he had a, quote, very big belly, like a pregnant woman might have. That may have been true, but maybe it wasn't, because this happened last week. December 27th. I mean, shortly, 2 days after the birth of the baby Jesus.
Sure. Odd fella.
Jeff was at Modern Maternity. As usual, he was shopping for clothes, and he asked the clerk for her phone number. She refused to give it to him.
Good.
Turned him down, if you were. So, Jeff wasn't to be deterred that easily. He took an armload of clothes, which he already had, over to a dressing room to try the clothes on. Then he called her over for help.
Oh, no.
So she got to the dressing room. He opened up the dressing room door, and he was wearing a bra and electric blue matching crotchless panties.
Oh, gosh.
wow.
Again, he's a man. So stuff
Was coming right out.
I imagine that's freeing.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's
feel
liberating.
good. Be very
Not
refreshing.
clear what he needed help with. She averted her eyes, it says in the story, and told him, get out. She then told her manager, who called the cops. Here's my question, 888-733-5105.
Did she put the fannies back in the rack?
Yes, she put the panties back on the rack.
Well, that's the question to be asked.
Of course
What's
she
she
did.
do with the garments?
What you do is, I'm assuming old boy wore them out of the store.
I hope
'Cause
so.
by that,
Give them
at
to
that
him.
point, why not? They're
Yes.
yours, dude. Keep them. They are a
Please.
present. No, 888-733-5105. Crotchless panties, what's the deal? No, that's not the question. The question is, especially for men and women that have worked in retail, but also you could just be a person that was in a dressing room when you witnessed something. What's the strangest thing you've ever seen in a dressing room in a store? 888-733-5105. And I hope this is an okay question to ask. I'm a little afraid of what the response is going to be.
Right.
Well, I guarantee you retail employees, because when I first started at Rich's, the Macy's-like store that I ended up being a plainclothes store detective at, I started in the men's department. And there was a Sunday afternoon where a fellow was trying on clothes, a good-looking guy, and I was doing my part.
Were you looking through the people
Absolutely
that you
not.
had carved yourself?
And you're supposed to check on them every
The
so
two-way
often,
mirror.
just to make sure they don't need anything.
As a security?
No, I was just a retail person.
No,
I
he was just a guy hanging out in
That
the
was the
dressing
menswear
rooms.
associate. I was
All
working in
right.
menswear.
Okay.
And I walked back. It was like late on a Sunday
So
afternoon.
he was a cute guy, so you went by like every 3 minutes. Can I get you
I
anything
was
else?
very professional.
Do you need any help with anything?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was in here.
Do you need another size? Big,
No,
grand,
I
hard
was
size?
100% professional, and I walked by his door, and he was buck naked, head to toe, with
Because he was
the
changing.
door wide open. No, he wanted
But
me to see.
why were you back in there?
Because you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to let them know that you know they're in there. You know what garments they're taking in.
I know you're in there. I know what you're doing. Do you need help with
And if
that?
they need another size, and he was an exhibitionist. How about that?
And what did that make you standing there? 888-733-5105. Especially if you've worked in retail, but not necessarily. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in a trying on clothes dressing room?
105.1 105.1 The Buzz. The Afternoon Buzz with Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
It is just as I feared. We're taking calls right now for the weirdest thing you've ever seen in a dressing room. Oh, the calls are proving difficult to air.
They're weird.
We still want them. Please continue to call. All our lines are lit right now. But we do have to do a little sort of fine-tuned editing bleeping here.
And to be fair, we got a really good one, and we pushed and pushed. The guy was trying to be
We pushed too hard. He didn't want to say it.
He was like, I'm trying to keep it clean. We're like, come on, tell us.
No, we ruined it. Brandon, we ruined it.
It's our fault, Brandon.
It was our fault. You were doing the right thing.
I think we can fix it.
We can fix it.
We're like, we can just bleep it. Go ahead. And then it turned out, no.
Yeah,
we couldn't.
Our
It was
bleep may not be
unbelievable.
strong enough.
There's not a bleep that can cover that. 888-733-5105. Your calls. Weirdest thing you've seen in a dressing room when we come back.
105.1 The Buzz. The Afternoon Buzz with Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
The question is, what is the strangest thing, whether or not you work in retail, strangest thing you've ever seen in a dressing room?
That's right. We've had some
We
interesting
want
calls.
weird.
Yes, and then we've had to bleep some, and I think the one we didn't think we could use, I think we figured a way to use it.
Yeah, it's Brandon. Hi, go ahead.
My wife and I both worked at a store, and there was a person who would come in regularly into the fitting rooms, and on occasion, I myself or someone else there would catch him in the fitting room. And he would be doing something very inappropriate and leaving everything in the fitting room for everyone to find.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Please elaborate, because I honestly...
I'm not sure what you're
No.
I want to make sure I stay appropriate for the radio.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll bleep you. So, okay, so how old... First of all, can we have a mental picture? How old is this person?
He was mid-40s, late 50s.
Okay, did he look like...
Backwards, late 40s, mid-50s.
Okay, late 40s, mid-50s.
So like Mitch's age.
Stop.
Yeah, right around the age of Mitch.
That's true.
Did he kind of have a face like a young Anthony Hopkins?
No, not at all. It was more like the grandpa next door who all your kids wanted to avoid.
Okay.
It still fits.
So Mitch like face, age of Mitch, and he would go back. And did he leave the door open while he was taking care of what needed to be taken care of?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He tried not to get caught, but it was kind of like everyone knew him in the store.
So
didn't want him in there. They followed him back to the fitting room and said, "Can I help you?" Just like you're supposed to do, of course.
yeah, and his response would be like,
You're helping me right now.
What's his favorite response is, "No, I'm busy."
yeah, okay, and
And
so
then he'd wait until you walk away and then run out of there and make sure he left you the evidence.
Wow.
and the evidence. What did you?
Always the same thing,
Oh.
which makes it even worse.
It makes it horrible.
Oh, I'm sad now. Okay.
It makes it almost unairable.
Yeah. I was with you, and then love you, Brandon.
Hi, Laura, go ahead.
Got a story for you from a store I worked at Pioneer Place.
Okay, go ahead.
No longer there. And it was a women's clothing store, and there are two incidences that come to mind. We had a fancy boy come in and want to try dresses on, and he was awesome, but we had to figure out how to let him back into the dressing room without making all of the other customers uncomfortable. So putting different racks in between spaces to split it up into a couple places so that he could try dresses on, and we didn't have to worry about creating an issue with our other customers.
That's their problem. Oh my God, I'd be like, fancy boy, come on, let's try on the same dress.
Also, I can tell you from experience, all you have to say is, "We're doing a show," and people go like, "Oh, funny." Ha.
But the other one I realized is perfect for Mitch. We had to rush a woman from the dressing room because there were feces on the skirt she was trying on.
Why is that perfect for me? I don't understand.
Someone else had grabbed it, gone to try it on, and found a little surprise.
I still
You'll
don't
like
understand.
this one, Mitch. Poop.
I hate that one.
Thanks, Laura.
Shirley, go ahead.
I worked in a retail store, and a woman needed to try on some clothes, and it was one of those tiny, typical Portland shops where you just had curtains. And she didn't come out, so I went to check on her, and she was naked as a jaybird, asleep in the chair with a lit cigarette.
Oh, my
Hers was
God.
tired and wanted to smoke. What's the big deal?
It's possibly she was under some sort of influence.
Possibly.
No.
I don't know for sure. I just told her to get dressed and get out.
Hers was high and naked and tired and jonesing.
I know.
Betty, go ahead.
Hi. I don't work in retail, but one time I was in a dressing room changing, and it was one of those smaller consignment stores where they have displays in the dressing room. I think the owner didn't realize or forgot I was in there, and I heard her tell another lady, "Oh, I have just what you're looking for." And I was, of course, not clothed, and she opened up the curtains to the whole store and exposed me to everybody. But luckily, it was only women in the store, so, I felt more bad for her. I think she was mortified and gave me a free skirt. So it worked
she gave you a free skirt?
That's a good deal.
Hold on.
That's
I'm
all we have to
concocting
do?
a plan right here.
Melanie, go ahead.
I currently work for Monkey Man. He was walking around our store one night and, just kind of giving all the employees weird looks and, our loss prevention, we're watching him and everything, and he decided he needed to go into the men's dressing room, try on a few clothes, and, that's not the weird part. All of a sudden we started hearing, monkey sounds. And then, it got a little quiet after the monkey sounds, and poor employee that had to clean up his smeared feces.
Oh, he's a monkey.
Monkey-like throw feces.
That's what monkeys do.
Yep.
Thank
If you let a monkey man into your dressing room,
You're gonna get feces. The fault is yours.
Thanks.
So, thank you as ever for answering my question. Let's get ready for the man who's going to answer all your questions. It's Marty Smith, the man who knows everything. Right after this.
105.1 The Buzz. The Afternoon Buzz. With Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Daria, Mitch, and Ted on 105.1 The Buzz. And look who's here.
Marty Smith.
Marty Smith. He writes a column in Where? Called Dr. No, and he knows everything.
By the way, big girls do cry.
Did you have that planned, the whole drive over?
He called me and said, please play that song before my segment.
I've been waiting with that one for 2 months.
My husband has a question for you. And
what?
I'm springing this at you out of nowhere. And if it's I don't feel like, then that's fine. I know it's again out of nowhere. But I couldn't stop thinking about it when he asked it. I don't know what made him think of it. Probably some sort of kids show. The question is, if you were swallowed whole by a whale...
This is a good question already.
How would you be most likely to die?
Would you die?
Or would you die? Could you live? But his question was more about, would you drown?
Suffocate.
Would you suffocate?
Yeah.
What if you had a wooden
This
boy
is
with
actually on this is on a list that I made a long time ago of things that you can do in cartoons that you can't do in real life.
Okay.
Including another one is have it swallow something that explodes and have it explode inside of you and get big and then small again. Run out, get eaten by something and then pry open their mouth from the inside and run away. You can't actually do that. Disappear, become invisible with vanishing cream.
Can you?
You can't do that. But
Run
the whale
with your
thing,
legs real quick and not fall
I
in the
think
water?
you would suffocate. I have not.
Because they don't chew you. They swallow you whole.
Well, in movies and
first
stuff.
of all, like a blue whale, like a right whale or any kind of baleen whale.
A big old whale.
Big old sperm whale.
A sperm whale. Okay.
Big.
Well,
the great white whale.
The biggest whale you've ever seen, Marty.
The biggest whale I've ever seen is probably a porpoise at SeaWorld.
You're rowing, you're looking back over your shoulder, you're rowing, and then all you see is mouth.
I'm sure you could go down there and pass a very unpleasant 2.5-3 minutes suffocating in a whale's gullet.
There wouldn't be enough air to breathe.
There's probably not. There might be some bubbles in there, but I wouldn't really count on it. Cell phone reception is terrible. You can't breathe.
Couldn't you work your way to the colon and find whale gas? Like whale flatulence and survive off the whale flatulence?
Are you going to have a dream about this tonight?
Because you wouldn't suffocate that way. If you can find air in its intestinal system.
So you're looking
and whales
for
are mammals.
farts internally?
Yeah. Anything to survive.
This is the weirdest.
Could you dig your way out if you had a sword? Could you cut your way out?
Save us.
What? Yeah. Could you go through the blowhole?
That's a good question.
No,
yes,
the blowhole is respiratory. I don't think you could get there. If you got swallowed, you'd be far, far from the blowhole.
You would?
If you went down the blowhole, which isn't really small enough to go down, you'd wind up in the lungs.
Where
there'd be plenty of air.
Oh.
I've seen a number of movies and TV shows where once you're inside the whale, it's just a big open room and there's a hole at the top.
And you can start a fire in there. Yeah, and
you have your
meet
little
an old guy with a long beard.
Little wooden boy.
How about this? What if you're scuba diving and you have a tank and the whale swallows you? How how long could you survive? Could you then...
Excellent
Thank
question,
you.
Mitch.
And if he swallows other fish, couldn't you grab a hold of those fish
And
and
eat the
swim?
fish.
Eat the fish or swim back out holding on to the fish.
Oh, to propel you.
Propel you out.
But
Except
if somebody shoots at the whale and it hits the tank,
No, it's
it'll
not gonna
blow
happen.
up.
Nobody's
no
gonna
one's
shoot
shooting
at the whales.
Well, you son of a bitch.
That's an interesting question.
I need an answer, Marty.
Try it. Let's try it. Let's do an experiment.
I mean, this thing about scuba divers get swallowed by whales, that probably happens
All
like
the
200 or
time.
300 times a year.
Sure, it does.
And it depends on, how much air is in your tank. But I would recommend going out the way you came in.
Yes.
Not like sitting there, like unwinding with a little light reading and waiting for the whale's digestive system
listen,
to push you
Marty,
on through.
If the whale swallows a book, I'm going to read it. Because it's hard to find time to get any good reading done. We'll be back with more Marty Smith, the man who knows everything.
105.1 The Buzz, the afternoon buzz with Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Daria, Mitch, and Ted in the studio with Dr. Noel from Willamette Week. He's Marty Smith, and he knows everything.
We love Marty.
We do love
Don't
Marty.
you feel like, the gang's all here now?
This makes me happy. He dresses up. He puts a tie on for the show.
Marty, how often...
Next week, I might even put on pants.
How often do you hear in your life that I just feel better when Marty Smith's around?
I don't hear that very often, actually. You'd be surprised.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
down at the jail, they're sort of like they've got nice to me.
Marty's back.
Hey,
like Otis.
frequent flyer.
Norm.
I don't even really want to ask if that's true. So you heard that a lot of people don't know what causes winter.
Yes, this is true. Thank you for reminding me. I was listening to the radio this morning, and someone said that they did a study, and 4 out of 5 Americans don't know why winter happens.
Isn't it when your portion of the Earth is tilted away from the sun?
Yes.
Thank you. And there we have it.
Done.
Marty Smith, the man who knows everything.
How about now? Let's be honest, though. Like, what did you think, Mitch?
I wasn't really sure. Come to think, but I'm still so confused that Australia right now is having summer, which doesn't make sense to me at all.
I think that, yes, what it is that most people think, like, it's the time of year that, the sun is furthest from the earth, or the earth is furthest from the sun, technically.
Right, yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, why people in Australia, like, how is Australia closer to the sun?
Yeah, we're all the same
than we are?
Earth.
Is
Now
the
I
earth
don't know.
long and skinny like a hot dog?
I think that probably a lot of people don't realize that there are different,
Everybody knows that
vastly
the
different
seasons are different in.
I
Hey,
think
wait a
you're
minute,
giving
Ted. I
people
don't notice
a lot more credit than
Ted.
they
I
deserve.
don't recall you actually saying what you thought about this question. And be honest.
I don't know that I've ever really thought about it.
Really?
No, Ted just
I don't
sitting there.
think that I ever
Ted's
went, like,
sitting, playing
why
video
winter?
games. He's playing video games. He looks outside. He goes, winter. And then gets right
Arkham Asylum.
back to what he's doing.
So
It'll pass.
Mitch-
Mark my words. No,
Mitch
it's actually
believes-
because we've angered the gods.
Sure, it's that.
Mitch believes that old Mr. Northwind,
freeze miser.
yeah, freeze miser, comes out of his cottage in the clouds and huffs and he puffs and he huffs and he puffs and he blows.
Out comes winter.
And out comes little snowflakes and snowmen come out strangely enough too.
Polar bears,
Santa,
penguins,
Santa
Santa
is
Claus,
there. Yeah.
white sails.
Do penguins and polar bears live together?
No.
In sin.
That's two different. That's two different worlds, right?
That's two different poles. Penguins are like mostly southern hemisphere, and polar bears, thank God, are mostly confined to the Arctic regions.
So-
not that we don't love polar
we love
bears;
polar
they're really
bears.
good. I would like them to live for a long time.
Which is
but
weird,
they
since-
are the only animal that will stalk and kill a human being for food,
and fun.
besides another human
Wow.
being.
How about that?
So winter.
Get thee to
Did
the
we get an
zoo.
answer? Was Daria right?
Yes, I was right.
Yeah.
So that's it?
Winter is
Yeah.
the answer to what? What is
No,
the question?
the question is, why do we have winter?
Why do we
winter?
have winter? Well, yes, that's because the days are because of the tilt of the Earth. The days are shorter in the northern hemisphere during the time that we call winter. So there's less time for the sun to shine on the Earth, more time for the moon, which generates cold. No, I'm kidding.
The moon man.
The moon, which is made of ice. That's why it's silver. Now, so like when the days are shorter,
See, he
there's less
says
time.
things-
on the Earth.
I know. He says things that are lies in the exact same cadence and tone of voice that he says the real things. So I'm left like, okay.
Moon's
tilted
made of
away from
ice.
the sun,
I know.
moon's
I
made
wish
of
that I
ice.
had kids just so that I could lie to them.
God. Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
Why is gold valuable? This is from Mason.
Yes. Why is gold valuable? It's actually an excellent question because you would think, like, what would you think would be the reason that gold would be valuable?
Well,
Like,
it is
would be
useful in certain devices, medical instruments, I know, in some computer devices.
Teeth.
Yeah.
Right. Did the ancient Greeks value it because it was good in their cell phones, Mitch?
I don't have a
No, because it was shiny
definitive
and
answer.
pretty.
It was shiny and pretty, perhaps.
Because it's rare?
Because it's rare. Actually, it's
not that
funny
rare,
you
is
should
it?
mention. Platinum is rarer but cheaper. Silver, actually, although this is kind of squirrely, there's more gold above the ground than there is silver. Silver, because countries stockpile it in huge blocks, and Scrooge McDuck obviously has a lot
He can
of it in his
swimming pool.
So technically, although if silver suddenly went up to $1,600 an ounce, people would start mining at PDQ. There's more of that.
No,
My boogers are extraordinarily rare, and yet almost valueless.
I've seen them on Craigslist.
Now, I'm worried, Marty, that when you give the answer to this question, that you're going to ruin the world's economy.
A little late for that, don't you think?
Tread lightly.
At last, we know who to blame. So,
So why?
But I mean, the thing is that it's kind of because we have, sort of the same way that paper money worked. If you had the idea for paper money today and you were like, check it out, dude, I want that fur coat and I made this piece of paper, so you should give it to me, the person would laugh in your face. And gold is the same way. We kind of all decided at the same time a long time ago that it was shiny.
Time ago.
So long ago that we were really, really impressed by shiny things. That's a while back in human history. Now
I still like shiny.
So that we all decided at the same time that gold is valuable, and so because we all believe it, it's true. And in fact, there's a great story about this.
oh, let's hear it.
Are you familiar with the story of the
King Midas?
the current currency of Brazil, the real?
No.
Well, Brazil for
Hold on.
years.
But I
what
did have
the
that in a
hell does
crossword puzzle.
Rapunzel have to do with gold?
She had to turn straw. He could
That
turn
was
straw into gold.
Rumpelstiltskin.
That's Rumpelstiltskin.
Rapunzel's the hair?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't think you listened.
This is an interesting story. Brazil, for years, was plagued by hyperinflation. You know what inflation is.
Sure.
The money becomes less valuable. Prices are going up 20, 30, 40, 50% a year. And they'd actually stabilized all the fundamentals of their economy. They didn't really need to have inflation, but everyone just believed that prices were going to go up and became this self-fulfilling prophecy. So what some crazy economists had the idea that they would put the prices on things, the prices that kept going up every day, and next to them they'd have another price tag that would just say the real value of the thing, and that one never changed. And so every day, like today, the price of bread would be 100 pesetas or whatever it was. Tomorrow it's 150, but always next to it in reals it would be 100. And they did that for a year, and then they said, okay, we're changing the currency from the thing that goes up all the time. We're changing over to the real. And
that's brilliant.
Inflation stopped. Oh, that's the one that doesn't go up? Oh, okay. I mean, it's the same currency under a different name. It's kind of amazing.
Would that work here?
We don't have hyperinflation here.
I just want to try
I don't know
it.
if that's so true. I mean,
I'm confused.
all I know is that I used to be able to go grocery
You should
shopping for
see-
like $150, and now it's $300.
You should see.
And it wasn't that long ago.
I dozed off for a minute.
Oh, maybe you're eating more, Ted.
Hold on. Here's
Well, I
what's
have
happening.
more people in my
Can
family.
we just listen to a minute for what's happening in Mitch's mind right now? He's picturing this. He's got dollar signs flying around his head. This isn't the mind of Mitch. He's got dollar signs flying, and they've got wings, and they've got eyes, and they're all looking down at Mitch. Meanwhile, over here we've got Rapunzel with the really long hair, and Rumpelstiltskin is sitting there commanding someone to start spinning her hair into gold, which she's then putting in big gold
Now you
bricks
got it.
that are then being shipped to Brazil.
Sure.
That's exactly right.
I think I see the little Monopoly guy.
Yeah.
In his get out of jail version, like where he's got the hat and the cane, but also the little wings.
God.
That guy.
Marty Smith. I think Marty is the anti-Mitch.
I shook hands with him and did not explode.
The man who knows everything. You can send questions to buzz@martysmith.com. Next week, we're going to talk about creepy diseases. Thanks as always
Yes, send
to Marty.
questions about creepy diseases.
105.1 The Buzz. The Afternoon Buzz. With Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Okay, we just had a friend come into the studio who works here in the building, who's lovely, and he used to work at a well-known clothing store chain in the
Santa Monica
area, and so celebrities would occasionally come in because it's their, as Ted put it, their hood, because Ted has street cred. So he was telling us.
I think that was Mitch that said that.
He was telling us about how Renee Zellweger came in, and she was very tiny.
Yeah, this big guy was working the ladies' dressing room for some reason at this
Right.
clothing store.
And because it's whatever.
Whatever. It's
And
California.
she would ask for this small size of pant, and he would be like, "Oh, we don't have that," and she'd go. like make
Very
this
feline-like.
this crazy long cat sound that had nothing to do with words or people, and then the subject evolved into. Mitch couldn't figure out why all these different celebrities were making their appearance at this clothing store.
He said Schwarzenegger came in just with his kids.
Yeah, yelling at them in Austrian.
Yeah.
And Mitch goes, why? Well, aren't they just surrounded by their fleet of bodyguards?
I would think they would have security personnel everywhere they went.
Really?
Yes.
You still have. I love that you hold on to that childlike wonder. Like when I was a kid, that's what I thought about anyone. If anyone was in a TV commercial, I thought of like, oh my God, what they must live in a mansion in Beverly Hills. And you still think that way.
Because a lot of them do. A lot of times you watch reality shows and the people that you don't think should have a mansion in Beverly Hills, they do. They make
a lot of those reality
Yeah.
shows are BS, you know.
Oh, well.
Like a Cribs is pretty much just fake houses.
They rent a house and a bunch of cars.
How can they get away with that?
Because
It
it's
should
a
be
TV
illegal.
show,
There
man.
should be illegal. There should have to be a disclaimer. Maybe there is. That's illegal.
I don't know that there's that many people who are watching, other than you, who are
I
watching
guarantee
MTV
you.
Cribs and going, "This is a documentary."
That's what it looks like. I've shown you my house. I've shown you my pool. Shown you my cars. Now get out.
Here is my spacious drawing room. So Mitch says, "Well, if I were famous and rich,
In my lottery dream, my fantasy,
right,
I will have security personnel with me at all times. Yes.
And who in the acting world would your main security?
Ruben
do?
Studdard. He will look identical to American Idol winner Ruben Studdard.
Wow.
He'll have the little earpiece, and there'll be another Ruben Studdard that'll be the driver in the car. So if things go down, like say we're in a
So
restaurant,
it's like Tracy Morgan's bodyguard guys on 30 Rock.
I know, watch that. But Ruben number
But
one,
yes, Ted,
sorry.
yes.
Ruben number one will call Ruben number two. Then both Rubens come in and protect me.
Would they have code words that they would like?
Yeah, like the president, POTUS, they call President of the United States of America. Usually they call him Liberty or Eagle. Yes, I would have a code word.
What would it be?
Shenanigans.
1051 The Buzz. Daria, Mitch, and Ted. With the bizarre, strange, the potentially untrue. The news of the weird.
Okay, folks, if you're near your computer, hop on the blog, 1051thebuzz.com, blogs, the news of the weird, so you can follow along. Got some pictures for these stories. What?
I just have so many questions for you.
All right.
Okay, so we found out from Mitch that he has a fantasy scenario for when he becomes a millionaire. First of all, he knows how many millions he's going to have.
253 million.
And he knows he's going to have a bodyguard team of 2 bodyguards that both look like Ruben Studdard. And
Hey, can I interrupt for 1 second? The reason the 253 is important because I saw on the show, I think it's on TLC.
what did you say? What's 253?
That's the
How
amount
many
of millions I'm going to win.
Oh, okay.
It's an
All
important
right.
number because
Sorry, I wasn't really listening.
on the show How the Lottery Changed My Life, a woman that won 112 million wrote that number down on a piece of paper and put it under her pillow for 3 or 4 weeks, then won the lottery.
Oh, I see.
So below my Tempur-Pedic pillow is 253
no.
written on a piece of paper.
You're going to win $253.
253 million. Maybe I should put million.
Yeah, I think you need to specify.
$53 million. So yes, that's the amount of money I will
You
win.
have that under your pillow?
What could it hurt?
For how long have you?
I've had it there. Well, I saw the show this summer, so I take it off. Obviously, when I change the sheets, I put it back on. I don't even notice
I
it.
think you should change the number.
3 or 4 months.
I think you should change the number because the odds of it being the exact number as somebody else is much higher.
No, hers is 112.
Oh, I thought you said it was 2.
No, hers was 112. Mine's 253.
So, okay, so that's how much money he's going to have. He's going to have the 2 Ruben Studdard looking bodyguards.
Yeah.
And his code word for when stuff goes down, when Mitch is under personal attack, or there's a threat to Mitch, is shenanigans.
Shenanigans is in trouble. Well,
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans is in trouble. Yes, I'm shenanigans.
You're shenanigans.
I'm shenanigans, yes. That's like I said, the president, they always say, Liberty is moving, Liberty's leaving the Oval Office. So that's the name for the president for the Secret Service. They have a code word.
So they will say there's one in the car, there's one that's right near you at all times.
Shenanigans is going to the restroom. Shenanigans is moving. Shenanigans is
What if
unmoved.
you actually go to the restaurant Shenanigans?
Is there such a place?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
That could get confusing.
What is the threat that you perceive yourself to be under?
I would a potential kidnapping victim. When people find out I've won $253 million, and they see me having a delicious meal somewhere at a restaurant,
I bet if we steal him, we can have $253 million.
I bet it happens all the time.
Okay, so
well, you always hear about it.
How do
Don't go to the press, Ted.
How do Ruben and Ruben know that you're about to be kidnapped?
Well, they're always on the lookout. They're
Right.
they're very vigilant.
Do they see 2 dudes in ski masks dressed all in black
That would
coming
be,
into the restaurant?
That would alert them
with a Mitch-sized sack.
That could alert them to some trouble. Remember, only one Ruben is in the restaurant. The other's in the car. The car is always running outside. A great big black Suburban, just like the president rides around occasionally, or Secret Service folks. Yeah, it's right there on the curb.
You keep referencing back to the president.
I'm fascinated with the Secret Service. I research a lot about the Secret Service.
The way you do it is as though you're as important as the president.
Well, he makes like $400,000 a year. If I have $253 million,
it's not because of his money that he'd be kidnapped.
What? Okay. Well, that's why I would be kidnapped, is because of my money. Sure, he's the most powerful person on the planet. Two slightly different things. But still, both kidnapping threats. Both potentially could be taken
president
to
and shenanigans.
Sure, and shenanigans.
Well,
yes.
that's where you go. You go to the president, then directly to the guy who has $253 million.
You would want the Rubens to be ex-Secret Service, wouldn't you?
It wouldn't hurt one bit. I actually would like that. Or I was thinking even better, like Navy SEALs, ex-Navy SEAls.
Well, if they're ex-Navy SEAls, chances are pretty good they're not going to look like Ruben Studdard.
These do.
Oh, these do, yeah. These SEAls do. They're very buoyant.
It's solid muscle.
Right. Very, very buoyant.
Let's take a quick break.
More News the Weird. Actually, we'll start News the Weird when we come back.
105.1 The Buzz. Daria, Mitch, and Ted. With the bizarre, strange, the potentially untrue. The news of the weird.
All right, Daria and Ted, again, if you're near a computer, hop on the blog, 1051thebuzz.com, News the Weird. For any of us that share our home with a wonderful canine companion, you have certainly experienced this. Here's the scene. You have guests over to your home. You're trying to impress them with your wonderful hosting abilities. You have appropriately candled the entertaining space. There's candles everywhere. You have...
Your security team is in place.
The Rubens are in place.
The Rubens.
Something tasty is cooking away in the kitchen, and the cocktails are being served. And all of a sudden, there's a horrible, rotten smell that embarrasses everyone. And your furry little friend is most likely the offending party member.
Sure he is.
Dog
it's
flatulence.
You, Mitch.
It's
you.
not me.
It's the whole reason you have dogs.
It's not me.
You have such a weird fetish about farting.
Yeah.
Not a fetish at all.
It is a fetish. You go to cake farts a lot.
Not a lot. I do research occasionally.
And you wait until you get everybody in the room and your dogs, and then you just let fly, and then you're like, I'm sorry, it's the dog.
Shelby,
and then it's everybody.
Not.
You're like, I'm sorry, let me get something to take care of this. I'll go get some candles or some air freshener, and then you sneak into the bathroom, you lock the door where no one can see you, and then you do your weird dance in the mirror. I'm getting away with it. I'm getting away with it. Then you come back out.
Well, dog.
Everybody had to smell it, and it's mine.
Mine. It's mine.
Dog flatulence can be a real problem. You try adjusting their food, adding digestive enzymes to their diet, but the hits just keep on coming.
It turns out they're alive, so occasionally they fart.
Can do about it. Sometimes they'll clean out a whole room and potentially ruin your guest event time at your house. So what do? Well, now you have an affordable...
What kind of a-hole would allow their event to be ruined by that?
Dolores, grab your wrap.
Let's go.
You've never been over when Chubby Lynn has cut loose a couple of times.
No, but I have been in backstage at our theater when Jason Keller lets go, which means nothing to any of you, but I tell you what, that guy...
You now have an affordable, simple option. It's on the News of the Weird blog. It's called the Doggone, the Dog Gas Neutralizing Thong for Dogs. There's pictures of it there on the blog. You simply use the straps and suspenders to attach the dog thong to the offending end of your pooch, and now they can let them rip as much as they like because
you don't think this is going to set people off more than a dog actually farting?
You hardly notice it.
Dolores, it's not dog wearing a thong. Grab your wrap. We are out of here.
It's lined with charcoal. It's a little paper thongy thing. It's lined with charcoal that apparently...
it's clearly there for the purpose of something to do with the anus.
That's what it's there for.
I know, but it looks like that's what it's there for, which would seem to be a little stranger than a dog actually possibly farting.
Hi, you guys. Thank you for coming to my party. I hope you enjoy the sumptuous roast I prepared. And I just want to tell you guys in advance, none of you will be plagued with the smell of dog farts tonight. As you can see, my dogs are both wearing...
Why is he bringing up dog farts?
The latest
Get your wrap. Let's go.
All right, more News of the Weirds coming up.
1051 The Buzz. Daria, Mitch, and Ted. With the bizarre, strange, the potentially untrue. The news of the weird.
All right, Ted, has this ever happened to you? You lose track of what day it is and you miss your trash pickup day? And now for those of us,
oh God,
it's the worst. And those of us
so
live
then
in
you
Portland,
have to wait a month.
We'd have to wait a month because our garbage is only picked up every other week. That'd be a horrible thing. It could be a real stinky problem. Wouldn't it be great if there were a way to remind you when it's time?
Thankfully, little Xander is using half as many diapers now. Oh wait, no, he's not.
Probably using a lot more. Well, wouldn't it be wonderful? There's a way that you would never, ever forget when it's time to take your trash out. Well, there is, at least for the residents of Taiwan. As you know, Taiwan is a small and densely populated island. And years ago, the folks there faced a huge issue with their waste disposal system. Public garbage collection spots were overflowing. They were smelly, infested with rats and insects. So the Taiwanese government came up with a very unique system.
Mitch's mom is infested with rats and insects.
So now, instead of having people dump their household waste at designated spots, a policy was created so now garbage is never allowed to touch the ground. You can't just take it out and set it out on the street, wait for the garbage folks to come pick it up.
We have to put it on like a scaffolding?
Nope. In the new system, garbage trucks pass through...
And you have to throw it at the truck.
Almost. They pass through every street every evening. And people know to bring out their trash bags personally and dump in the trucks.
Like the worst ice cream man ever.
Play the audio, Ted. That's exactly what it is. They play music. They play Beethoven. This is the sound. That's the garbage truck coming.
The garbage truck is coming. The garbage truck is coming.
There's video on the blog, and it's fascinating to watch because the guys on the truck never touch it. You have to throw it into the back.
Oh, they're not even slowing down.
No, barely come down to a halt. I don't know why that's so fascinating for me to watch people tossing their garbage.
Well, it's going to make it a lot harder to get rid of bodies.
So every night you have to go to this meeting place to throw your trash away?
Because there's no room to store anything.
This is dumb.
Every single night you take your trash out, and that's it.
It's not like they drive down your street and you drop it out in front of your house. No, There's like a spot.
You're not allowed to let it touch the ground.
Get your garbage, put it in the car, then you walk to the place, and then you take a train, and you get off at the spot, and then you walk some more, and then you walk and walk. You walk a little more, and you walk a little more, and when you smell the garbage, you don't have far to go. Then you hear the music, and you throw in your trash. Look at every single one of these people, Mitch. Look how much fun they're having.
They're having a great time.
Oh, it's a great... I'm lying. They all have look of like, oh, God, what kind of stupid idea is this on their face?
I think it's wonderful. You get to watch them
Why do you think it's wonderful?
Because you get to watch them compact the trash up into the truck.
You are a child. 7 years old.
It's very fun. It's just a very social thing. It's like every evening, it's like, hey, what'd you have for dinner? Oh, I had
Let's
fish.
find out.
Let's open up the trash and look through it. I think it's a great idea.
You are a mental man.
I would love it if we could have musical garbage trucks.
Shut up!
Just
shut up!
Mayor Sam Adams, are you listening?
What's next?
Are you listening, Sam?
This is also on like a beautiful, fine weather day.
I know, it wasn't as much
fun. It was pouring rain and horrible, and everybody in your family was sick, and you're like, don't forget, you got to take that trip to the garbage truck, the beautiful garbage truck in Taiwan.
Finally, Daria and Ted, when you hear the term man-eating fish, what's the first fish that comes to mind?
Shark.
What's the second fish that comes to mind?
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Probably piranhas, although they're really not as dangerous to humans as we think they are.
Oh my God, so we saw the piranha movie?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
The campy.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I recommend it.
Well, there's a fish that you may not be familiar with that's causing all sorts of problems for villagers in Papua New Guinea. Now, check out the pictures on the News of the Weird blog. It's a 40-pound pacu fish.
Papa.
I never know how to pronounce that.
Papua New Guinea.
Thank you, Papua New Guinea. The fish is called the pacu fish, P-A-C-U. It's native to the Amazon.
This is like the exact same picture of the exact same fish that you trotted out a couple years ago saying, look, they found a fish with human teeth.
That's a different fish that is not aggressive. That other fish with human teeth, they're hoping to use to make teeth transplants.
Sure, because why wouldn't you?
Because it's if you don't have a human tooth to put in your head.
If you're already going to imagine a fish with human teeth, why not imagine it further and imagine that you could put those teeth in a human mouth?
Well-known phrase, baby fish mouth.
They will farm raise them, Ted, and they'll raise them for their teeth. And then when you need teeth
so these aren't those fish, you're saying?
These are different fish, similar looking. This is the pacu fish, weighs 40 pounds, native to the Amazon, and in its native habitat, it's a vegetarian. Everything's just fine. It cracks nuts with its giant teeth. But somehow this pacu fish made it to Papua New Guinea, to the waters of Papua New Guinea. Well, now, because this pacu fish can't find the nuts and seeds it loves so much, they've developed a love for a part of the human anatomy. Only one part.
The peen.
The private regions of the male fisherman. Not the peen, not the twig, but the berries. They call it the ball cutter fish. When a fisherman jumps in the water.
So you'll say berries to avoid, but then you'll call it the ball cutter. Well,
that's what they call it. I'm quoting.
I like that in your text you wrote for ball cutter, you put an asterisk in place of the A.
I never know what I'm allowed to write on our website, what I'm not.
The B*LL cutter.
I don't want to get in trouble.
So let me get this straight.
Yes.
There's a fisherman, okay? He's fishing in the Amazon.
Right, probably naked, I guess. I don't know.
Of course he's naked.
Sure.
Because, it's
Why
hot.
wouldn't you?
This is in Papua New Guinea. In Amazon, they're vegetarians.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Okay.
So he's nude as fishermen want to be.
Sure.
So he's there and he's like standing in the Amazon because it's such a safe river.
Right. Yeah.
And full of nothing threatening at all.
No.
Nothing like crocodiles, deadly snakes.
You're fine.
No, you're good. And he's going to dangle. He's just going to English jump. He's naked jump.
Teabag the river.
Yeah, he's just going to be, it feels cool and welcoming.
And it does, it would.
So nice.
On his area.
So nice.
So he's dipping peen. And then all of a sudden, he feels like a huge, the guy's holding this fish. It's the size of 2 basketballs easily.
Yeah, it's huge.
So this gigantic fish feeling starts to kind of mutter around his groin area, and he's like, that's weird. Well, I guess I'll just keep standing here fishing naked because that's what I do. So then he feels a little nibbling sensation.
That's odd.
That's strange. Well, I know one thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to stand here with my balls right out there free in the Amazon, because if I would move, that would be ridiculous. So then next thing you know, oh my God, there's a big old fish that's completely severed.
Yeah, they bleed to death. The fishermen bleed to death.
Yes.
Well, yes.
He bites them right off.
Let that happen. He's like, oh God, what do I do? My bees are gone. Well, I guess I'll stand here and bleed in the Amazon.
That brings the piranha. The piranha feed on the rest.
Horrible thing.
It seems like it involves a great deal of complacency on the part of the fisherman who's getting his nards chopped off by a fish. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm saying that you specify that that's what they eat. They don't like toes.
Love balls.
They don't like knees.
That's all they like.
They like the gonads.
That's all they
like.
like.
They're going to just go for that area. And
Man
then,
fries.
those are good. Hey, what happened to Phil last week? Phil was fishing. And
Funny story.
You're not going to believe it.
This is being shared, this story, by the way, by 2 naked fishermen.
In the water.
Who are just gonads deep in the water. They're like, well, the weird thing is that Phil was fishing, and then this giant fish came by and just nipped his boys right off. And
really?
That's weird. Hold on, do you feel something, Dave? Yes, I do. Chomp, chomp. There's 2 more. Now, cut to the next day. There's 2 more brand new fishermen.
You're exactly right.
Did you hear what happened to Chad,
what
Dave and
Bill Murray and Phil? They all darned if they weren't standing, kind of like we are.
Just in this
Barry.
example,
just like this?
You and I stand there.
Wait a minute, let me ask you something. Were they balls deep?
They were balls deep in water.
Interesting.
Just like you and I, because, we're fishermen in Papua New Guinea, and that's how we fish.
That's how we roll.
And it's the weirdest thing. Ow, what's that?
Oh,
bleed
no.
to death.
That's it. That's your news. So weird.
105.1 The Buzz, the afternoon buzz with Daria, Mitch, and Ted.
Oh my God, I ate your super strong mints and I didn't sneeze.
Yeah, you always sneeze when you eat my Tic Tac Power Mints.
I can't be the only one that happens to. Like, whenever I eat a really strong mint, then I sneeze like a couple times in succession.
Yeah, I've
I
never.
thought everyone did that for some reason, but no, it appears that I'm the only one
you.
on Earth. So last night, Dallas and I went to the restaurant that you had recommended to us, Mitch, the
Via Tribunale.
Via Tribunale over there on Southwest 3rd and Ankeny. It's right next to Voodoo Donut. It's right across that outdoor light lit up alleyway thing. And there's the oyster bar there too. But it was awesome.
Isn't it great?
But the most fun was the big booby lady painting upstairs, which I got to go pose by, because you had done that originally.
We didn't know anything about it. They were showing us around the restaurant. It's just a beautiful little restaurant, very, very cozy in there, perfect light. It's probably the most authentic pizza you can get here in Oregon.
It tastes like
Portland.
if you've ever had the very famous caprese salad, which is buffalo mozzarella and tomato and basil. That's it.
Yeah.
They have that on a pizza. It's the margarita pizza, like a really famous pizza,
Right.
and it tastes like you're eating a warm caprese salad.
Yeah.
Like that's how all the different flavors, each one is like really simple, really pure, and it's not the sort of flavors commingling super cheesy affair. It's just like it's really good. It's really simple and really
awesomeness.
good.
But we were just looking around the restaurant. Derek and I are very impressed. We thought, hey, cool, they have an upstairs little dining area. Let's go check that out. So we walk upstairs, and there's this giant picture of Daria. It's like, oh my God!
No, it's not a picture of me. It's
it looks like you.
It's
an awful lot like you.
It looks like Daria in 2 ways.
She's very curvaceous in the
no,
picture.
but you say that, Ted. But when I went to do my pose by it, and you can see that photo, by the way, of me next to the Via Tribunale lady, there was a couple at the table right by the mural, and they said, "Oh, is that you?"
Right. Well, when you stand in front of it, the picture's on our Facebook page. If you stand in front of it, yeah, there are some similarities. It's dark hair,
the eyes,
you have
the lips.
eyes and lips and boobs.
We were freaked out because we'd had a little wine. We're like, oh my God!
I know. And then you brought it in. You brought it in the next day. You're like, look at this picture. I'm like, yeah. So
yeah,
it's Daria.
It's Daria. Get on there. And it's also the picture they have on their to-go boxes. So you, in my book, should have free pizza for life.
Right? Hey!
Yeah.
I got it. There's all these different things I feel I should be getting money for, and none of it is happening.
It's not fair.
Speaking of getting things for free, you're going to want to be listening next week, because we have something very exciting.
Yeah, the iPad a Day giveaway. It starts Monday. You want to listen listen to our buddy Cruz at 7:25. He's going to tell you a song, the iPad song of the day, and he's also going to tell you the hour we play it, which makes it a lot easier to win.
The hour, sometime in that hour.
Yeah,
There's been
right.
confusion in the past that it means exactly at that.
Not confusion, anger.
Anger, right.
If he says, like,
At
it's
least
in the
one
5
person.
o'clock hour, that means sometime between 5 and 6 the song will be played, not at 5.
Oh, people get furious.
Yeah, they
They're
do.
like, I was listening at 5 o'clock, and you guys didn't play it. And then you didn't play it, you didn't play it till like 5:45, and this is BS. And I'm like, but Cruz.
Okay, you get to win. When you hear it, you're going to be caller 20, then you win an iPad 2. That's the one with the camera. That's the one that Ted has. I have the iPad 1. Ted has the iPad 2.
Fellows, I have neither iPad.
You should get an iPad.
I have nothing.
Oh, it's so
I'm
wonderful.
now so far behind in technology that it's too late for me.
You've given up.
I have. I write things down on an index card, and it works fine. I don't want to go any further than that. I have a computer at home. Even that is annoying to me. I'm not getting your fancy iPhone whatnot
Oh,
pad.
it's so nice.
Why do you need both? Why do you need an iPad and an thingy?
Because when I make additions into my iPhone here, let's say we have an appearance or something.
Oh, God, I'm bored.
I go home and just wirelessly, immediately, the computer knows what updates
I
I've
won't know
made.
how to do it.
It's so simple. The iPad knows the
You
updates
set
I've
it
made.
and forget it.
You set it, and
set it
forget
one time and you're good.
When you're watching television, you have that iPad right next to you and you want to know, who's that actor?
Yeah.
What musical is Matchmaker from?
I do want to know that.
Your iPad's right there.
It's right
so
there.
much easier
It's a
than
nice
opening
size
up a
screen.
laptop. It's
And
always
then
on.
I say, I thought it was Hello Dolly, but it's Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on
There
the
it is.
Roof. That's exactly right.
Okay, so you have a chance to win one every
Yeah.
single day next week, and it couldn't be easier. Again, you can get sort of a cheat code by listening to Cruz, 7:20 a.m.
7:25.
7:25 a.m.
Well, it's a little bit. The website says 7:20. Our boss says 7:25. Listen at 7:23.
Just listen between 7:20 and 7:25.
Yeah. Right.
You will hear the song and when it's going to be played, and then you call in to win.
Good luck.
Have a great, great chance doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Win one and have it.
Win it.
Do it.